Well, before I answer that, the Philippines been doing well since 2010. Average growth has been 6.3%, and that's primarily because of the leadership of President Aquino. He basically came in with an agenda of better governance that resulted to a better economy. And as a result of that, we've improved the business environment that has improved the growth of the economy. Philippines, as you know, is in the east part of Asia, and basically is one of the most vulnerable countries to natural calamities. Last year, we were hit with the strongest typhoon ever that has hit landfall. And unfortunately, it hit a big swath of the country. And again, there's always a silver lining, as they say, when you have events like this. And the silver lining is we realize that the global economy, the global community rather, is quite helpful. They've stepped up and on the relief, now on the reconstruction. So we're starting to rebuild the economy, the shelter, the infrastructure. But this process will take longer. The good thing, though, is that we've realized that if this is the new normal that we're going to face, we've decided to build back better. We plan to relocate those who are in vulnerable areas. We also want to improve our public buildings so that they would stand typhoons like this in the future. The area that was affected was one of the poorest areas in the country, and they were coconut-based economy. And as you know, coconut takes a long time to grow. The silver lining in all of this is it gives us an opportunity to rebuild the economy with better crops, with cash crops that will result to better livelihood for these people. The other thing is that we're working closely with the private sector. And the private sector now are stepping up, not just with their corporate social responsibility budget, but with their purchasing budgets, which basically is unlimited. So they're including this area in their supply chain. And I think if we succeed in doing this, we'll really rebuild better, not just the shelters, the physical infrastructure, but hopefully a better economy. Well, basically what we've done is we've divided the area that was affected into 24 zones. And in each zone, we've asked voluntary companies to take charge. Basically, they assign people to coordinate with us. We take care of the infrastructure. That's a job of government. We take care of rebuilding the services. But the private sector helps out in restarting the economy. And I think this is the classic and ultimate PPP, public-private partnership. And that's why we're very appreciative of the support, not just of Philippine private corporations, but global NGOs that came quickly and responded quickly to help us initially in the relief operations and now in the rehabilitation. The thesis of President Aquino is good governance is good economics. And as we've seen the past 4 years, it has brought about confidence from the financial community, allowing us to borrow at lower cost. Lower interest means we can use more of our money for more productive purposes. Lower interest means our corporates borrow cheaper also, which means that the required rate of return on investments is lower. That means the risk profile for new investments is lower. And that's made them more aggressive in terms of investing in the country. But more importantly, good governance basically has made it more affordable for our people to buy cars, buy condominiums, because interest rates now are lower. They can borrow for longer periods of time. And then they are more confident about investing in themselves for the future because they see suddenly a Philippines that's stable, that is a good place to do business in, that's a good place to start a family, that's a good place to stake their future. And that has resulted to growth rates, despite the difficult global economic environment, at much higher levels than what we were having before when the global economy was doing better. That has resulted to our growth rate averaging 6.3% the past 4 years. as opposed to 4.5% the 10 years before that, despite the fact that the 10 years before that was a better global economic environment. Well, one of the things I clearly remembered from my stay in Kellogg is that when you deal in the real world, the definition of the problem is more important than the solution to the problem. Because when I came in here, under our Philippine educational system, we were so focused on solutions, on answers. No? But going through the cases that we were exposed to here, working with our classmates, no, and our interaction with the professors, it gave me intellectual framework and confidence that I can come up with solutions or definitions to problems that will help me solve any situation that I'll encounter with in the future. And I think that's the one thing that I will never forget from Kellogg. The other thing is the value of working with teams. No? That started on the very first day of Kellogg during the management games that they have before the start of classes. That's when you realize that you can only be as good as the people you work with. You can only be as good as you make these other people better. And therefore, by being better as a team, then you accomplish more. No? Then the third thing is that, again, the environment where I was brought up in, the exams were always closed books. No? But here it was always open books. No? And that's when you realize that in real life it's open books. No? What is important is that you learn how to think, that you create a conceptual framework so that you can deal with any situation. And as a result, you come out with more confidence that you can deal with the challenges life will throw at you. One of the hallmarks of Kellogg education is your exposure to many cases. And going through those cases, discussions with my small group, discussions with the professor, discussions in classes, you realize that institutions are always more important than single individual. And that confidence is very important in the success of institutions. And, when I was in government, I was faced with a difficult choice when the president of the Philippines was accused of corruption, of cheating in the elections, and her popular support was lost. No? And we had to ask her to resign because we felt that the future of the Philippines, the institution, our country, was more important than the interest of one person, even though she was the president of the Philippines. And that's a good example where I had to lean back on my learnings from my Kellogg days to help me make a very difficult real-life decision. Oh, well, in life, balance is very important. And I found this school to have the perfect balance. Balance in terms of academic, balance in terms of coverage of subject. Kellogg is strong not just in one area, but across many areas. Balance in terms of academic activity, corporate exposure, and ability to deal with very qualified teachers. Balance in terms of the atmosphere. I felt that there was enough pressure, but it wasn't too much, that it gave me time to lean back, appreciate the whole situation, and contemplate and even learn more from the experience. Because sometimes when it is too intense, you don't have time to lean back. And it's in moments when you lean back, when you absorb and have a deeper understanding of what you're going through. And I thought that Kellogg gave me that balanced experience. And in the end, after I left Kellogg, I always looked for balance, for flexibility that allowed me to have a better success in whatever I did.